Right on, you guys. This is about midway point here through this chainring restoration on this Crupi. Where, in case you haven't tuned into any other videos, which I don't blame you, we are anodizing this silver right now. I'm gonna pull it out, seal the part, and then hit it with the sander and show you what the face looks like. This will be anodized 2 colors, silver, recessions, and whatever color I put on the face yet, I don't know. So that's where we're at with this right now. We'll continue. It's been in there for an hour and a half anodizing, and I got the sealer tank already. So I just disconnected the part because if you remember the last video, the stupid button broke. Disconnect the power from the part. All right, out it comes. Oh yeah, that's a nice anodized finish. Beautiful. Distilled water. Rinse all the battery acid off. Bada boom. And you can already see it without me. See that, how smooth that finish is, even on the teeth. You see how they lost their high gloss silver? That means everything's anodized the same surface. And I'm gonna take all that off of there. Right now we got the sealer tank. This is Caswell sealer. I'll show you what this is in just a second. Whoa. Hot. Hold on. And like, just so you know, in this process, it doesn't matter if it's touching or hanging, like the part itself. It's not gonna affect the surface area. And you'll see a lot of this like last video and stuff. I do a lot of like touching the part on different things, banging it onto different stuff. When I anodize this again and put actual color on it, everything will be different. The whole process will change, and you'll see that, because you cannot have any imperfections if that takes place. When you're doing that step, I mean. So I'm gonna go ahead and let this soak in that boiling temperature, 200. I'll show you actually before I forget. So this is what we're using, Caswell anodizing sealant. You add 1 little ounce per gallon of distilled water, 210 degrees, 5 to 30 minutes. I just run it for 20 minutes. And I forgot to mention, I didn't do a lot of things for the silver. Like, you should have a air percolator pump in here, or a water pump or something, just to keep this agitated during the anodizing process. And all of that will happen when I'm doing color. Because I'm doing the silver, you can't really screw silver up. I don't care if your temperature's off and you don't get that thick of a layer. It won't show uneven inconsistencies like light and dark spots based on your temperature and how long it was in there for. So there's so much forgiveness when you're doing just the color silver. But once you do purple or any other color for an even, smooth surface, a lot of shit has to change. And I'll show you all that when we do a color on the part. But I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video and let that run for 20 minutes in there. All right, you guys, we're gonna go ahead and grab this out of here. It's been in there for 20 minutes. Remember, where's my distilled water? Go fast in the distilled water. Let it cool down for a second. Man, that's it. That's anodized. Alright, let's see what we got here. Oh man. Alright. So there we go, man. Look at that. That's silver anodized, right? Yeah, can you tell? See that right there? You see those spots? Those stripes and those swirls? Those all would have been on the face. That's all grease smear marks from my hands when I was touching the part and grinding out that center hole. Remember that? That's what it would do to your surface finish. But I'm sanding this down right now, so I don't care. All I'm trying to do is get those teeth silver, get those recessions silver, and then get those silver. In case you didn't catch on the previous video, I'm going to use the silver anodizing that I just now put on the part. What is that? As a mask, as masking tape. You cannot anodize over old anodizing. It has to be raw aluminum, right? So I'm going to sand the silver off the face now and off the back with the orbital sander, and that will leave raw aluminum on the top and the bottom. And the teeth recessions, the dot recessions, and in these grooves will all stay anodized silver. Everything else will be raw silver. I will then run all the way up the grit from 220. Technically you should be using 180, but I don't have any 180, so I'll be going from 220 all the way up to 3000, and I'll stop at 500 grit intervals all the way, and I'll finish it off with a buffer wheel polishing, and then we'll remove all the buffer compound off of it again, and then we'll drop it down in anodizing for a color. When it comes out of anodizing, we will have silver teeth, silver recessions, silver letters, silver dots, silver everything, and the face and back will be whatever color. It'll look like a factory CNC'd disc. I can show you an example of what I did on my personal build. I'm gonna cover this camera so you can't see as I'm walking through this room. All right, so look, there's one that I did on my personal build. So you see how the letters, everything remained silver, all of the recessions in the teeth, all of it's silver, right? It looks like, oh shit. That looks like it came straight out of a factory. All the recessions are like that. Look, everything is super clean. That's what we're going for. See, like the easy way to do it, like, so I did these pedals, I restored these pedals, I anodized these purple just not too long ago. So most people will do it this way. They color fill the recessions. The only reason I colored filled the recessions is because I needed that white to tie in to the rest of the white on the bike. So I had to make it white. Silver wasn't gonna cut it for me. And I would have had these silver lines right here, and I didn't want to knock those lines out. So that's how most people do it. But this is what I do when I anodize. It's not a paint fill, it's like reversed. So that's what that looks like. We're gonna go ahead and hit that disc with a sander real quick. And you can do it in reverse. You can do it in reverse too. So like, this is one layer of silver anodizing, sanded down and polished, and re-anodized purple. I made these T1000s as well, right? So I took the whole rim, anodized it purple, and then put a sticker over it that shaped like the flames, and then I stripped all the purple off of the rims and peeled the sticker off, and underneath it was purple flames. And I'll show you how we did that, and I'll actually make a whole nother video for a couple other people who are interested. Yeah, that's all me, man. Look. Can't focus, huh? That's anodized logos. The logos, everything's anodized down there, man. This won't focus for me. I should do tutorials on all that stuff too. So we're gonna go back to this part real quick though, hold on. All right, you guys, so this is gonna be pretty short for the rest of the video. All I'm gonna do is hit this with a sander and knock down the anodizing layer, take it back to raw aluminum. But I'm only gonna do a little spot just to show you what I'm talking about. I'll do the rest off camera because I don't know how to do a time lapse yet. 220 hook and loop. Is, boys. Now you see what I'm saying? See how back to raw? See how thick that anodizing is? It's pretty thick, man. That was 220 grit, and you just watched me beat it. So you see how that... You see why you need to get it perfectly flat? Because, like, obviously that part's just a little bit recessed, probably from the machinery. But, just watch. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Just showing you. You can actually see the color of the silver inside those teeth. You can see the little spot. That's still a little spot of anodizing around the S. But I'm not going to sit here and crank on it just for your amusement, because I need to take it out while I'm taking out this part at the same time. So that disc needs to be flat, and I need to take it all off evenly. I only just routed in there just to show you what it is that's the difference. But you can see the teeth very clearly. Anodized silver inside. So when I anodize this, that won't take no color, because it's already got anodizing on it, so that'll remain silver. Same with all of that, all those little recessions. Same with all of this. I'm gonna leave it right here on the end of this video. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for checking it out. On the next video, I'm just gonna go through off camera. I'm gonna hammer this down all the way back to raw aluminum, get it ready to polish, and then I'll do a quick video on how we polish it out, and then I'll remove the polish, etc., and we'll just anodize the rest of it and finish the video. Move on to something new. All right, you guys. Thanks very much. Crupi BMX, checking me out, man. Dude, if you hit the subscribe button, like if you've watched this much of the video already, you obviously give a shit about what I'm saying, or you just have nothing better to do than make fun of a guy who can't talk. But like, I don't think you can do this, man, and if you wouldn't be watching my video. So if you actually are getting some kind of mind fodder out of this, hit that subscribe button, dude. Like it. That shit will help me out. Because otherwise I'm just farting in the wind, man. Nobody can smell it. What's the point? Might as well save it for my dog.